Grab a cup of tea or listen as you go, ladies. This is your hour with Dr. Zoe, your life and relationship coach. With encouragement, on-point insight, inspiring guests, health tips, and advice, Dr. Zoe helps busy women keep their mind in the game by redefining your superwoman. You're listening to The Dr. Zoe Show.
Welcome to The Dr. Zoe Show, redefining your superwoman. I'm your host, Dr. Zoe. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist with a doctorate in clinical psychology. I'm a life and relationship coach and a motivational speaker, and I can work with you virtually to help you get unstuck. My passion is helping women find their superpower, embrace it, and share it with the world. Connect with me by texting the word JOIN to 38470 or go to my website at drzoeshaw.com. Happy New Year. So the show topic today is why you have to get rid of your to-do list. That's a great New Year topic. So yes, Happy New Year. I'm going to start with sharing my win, which is I took a bath. That might sound a little bit crazy, but I had a friend suggest that I take a bath, and I later realized it had been at least a year since I've taken a bath, because who has time for that, right? I took it, I ran the water, put bubble baths, did all the fun stuff, and just relaxed for about an hour. And it felt so darn good. That is my win. And I am resolving to do that more often. I know I'm not the only one because I called my friend Rosie. Some of you guys might have listened to her episode. I was telling her about taking a bath. She said it's been 8 years. Now, that's pretty darn bad, but that's true. She said it's been 8 years since she's taken a bath. So ladies, we have got to do better. We've got to treat ourselves. So anyway, I took a bath. That's my win. My fail. I'm so glad that you guys write to me and let me know that you like to hear my wins and fails, because it connects me with you, or it just makes you be able to really go, oh yeah, me too. So my fail, it's a mom fail. I wonder if most of my fails are mom fails. My son, who is 17, so perfectly capable of, taking care of himself, but he asked me before he had to go to work, he works at Target, if I would make him a sandwich. So I said, sure. Actually, I think it was a sandwich, or maybe it was something else like oatmeal. Anyway, he specifically asked me to make him something. I wasn't doing anything, just relaxing at the house that day. I totally told him I would do it. And I went upstairs and I got into something. I lost track of time. And the next thing I know, I looked at my watch and it was past time that he was supposed to be at work. And I ran downstairs. He was gone. I was like, I felt so bad because I had promised him to make that food and didn't. And then, I called him and I could think he was on his way to work. And he's like, I'm sorry, I was running. I think he took a nap or something. He was running late. So he just took off. But even though he's 17, it still felt like a mom fail because he asked me and I said I would, and I totally forgot. So I ended up going to Chipotle and buying him a burrito and taking it to his work. Even though he's perfectly capable of making his own food, sometimes he doesn't. So he's probably going to, be like the ramen noodle boy in college. But also, I had told him I would. So that's my fail. They happen. So on to the show topic. Why you need to get rid of that to-do list this year. It's 2019. We've got to check those to-do lists. So it's the new year. You are probably determined not to be disorganized and overwhelmed. I know that I am determined not to be. I even said I wasn't making a resolution this year, and usually I do, but I ended up spending New Year's Day cleaning my desk and making a very detailed list of goals. And actually, I feel really good. I feel really good about it. Every time I pass my desk, which is a part of my bedroom, every time I pass my desk and I look at it and it's crisp and it's clean, I get this warm, fuzzy feeling. And it's probably because I'm hoping that I'm actually going to keep it that way this year. But I did utilize some organization stuff, and we'll see. But I'm guessing that you have a strong desire to turn something around in your life this year. And with all your good intentions, you probably have already gotten out a little piece of paper and you're probably starting to take not just notes, but you're probably starting to try to tackle your mess with a to-do list. What usually actually happens is that you either get so overwhelmed with the sheer number of items that are on this list, and that just leaves you feeling worse and horrible because why can't I get it all done? Or you make the list, but you don't really know how and where it's all going to get done, which of course leads to procrastination. And that starts to look a whole lot like the 2018 version of your life. And that's what you're trying to get away from. I've used to-do lists. I've used them for years and they can work. But if you aren't using them effectively, they actually leave you feeling more stressed and more overwhelmed than you did before. And I can definitely say that's been my experience. I have had so many to-do lists and then I lose them sometimes after I've taken the time to do them. So I heard this concept of getting rid of to-do lists first on Brooke Castillo's podcast. And I thought it was an ingenious idea. And so I started implementing it myself and it has been a game changer. So you're probably asking, if we're going to get rid of the to-do list, how are you going to get stuff done, right? Well, keep listening. I'm going to tell you. But first, let's talk about all the advantages of your to-do list. This to-do list I'm trying to get you to get rid of. So the advantage of the to-do list is that you can feel less stressed because all of your to-dos are on paper and they're out of your mind. And I am not underestimating that. That can be a huge stress reliever in and of itself, just getting it out. With the to-do list, you can prioritize your actions. You don't forget anything. You feel more organized, and it certainly helps you with planning. So it all sounds super good, except your stuff often doesn't get done. So what you need to do is you need to skip the list and you need to put the things you need to get done directly in your calendar. What? Yes, you have to put it on your calendar. It is a waste of time to have this whole to-do list and it's not even syncing or in with your calendar. When are you actually supposed to get this stuff done? This may sound crazy. And my first thought when I heard of getting rid of the whole to-do list is that now this is going to clutter up my calendar if I'm putting everything on my calendar. But if I truly don't have any room on my calendar to fit a task, then I might as well just throw the list in the trash because it's not going to get done. It's going to end up there anyway. So putting your tasks on the calendar forces you to allocate a time frame for each task, and it also creates the space to complete it. Wow. It allocates a time frame for each task, and it creates the space to complete it, which increases the chance that you're going to get it done to begin with. Ingenious, yes. So try it. And most calendar apps, they'll allow you to add reminders to whatever task it is. So if you have a task, you can add reminders and you already know you can email it or text it to yourself. And I know how the checking the item off and crossing it off of your old to-do list, the actual action and mechanism of checking is like a drug. I know it is for me for sure. Nothing feels better than being able to check that task off. But you can possibly accomplish this by deleting the events once you complete it. And then you can kind of just rejoice in the open space on your calendar. So don't say, I don't have time. I have too much to do. I don't know how to get all that done. Stop that lie because you do have time. You have the same amount that everybody else does. Instead, say, I have a lot to do and it's all going to get done because it's all on my calendar. So trash your to-do list. And remember, if it isn't worth putting on your calendar, it's not worth having on your to-do list. So what are you waiting for? Give yourself the gift of a calm and clear mind by unloading everything onto your calendar. Knowledge is power. Good luck and happy new year. Yay. So next up is Real Talk. This is Real Talk, where I answer questions from my listeners and share my own musings and encouragement. Please reach out if you have some questions you'd like me to address on the show, and all questions are anonymous. I take your confidentiality seriously as if you were my own client. You can email questions to Zoe at drzoeshaw.com or connect with me on any of my social medias. This question coming up, it was curated from my column at the gritandgraceproject.org, and you can always submit questions directly to me as well. So here's what the viewer asks. Hi there. As a mom with 3 boys, 12-year-old twins, and a 9-year-old girl, how do I deal with the tween separation that boys do without taking it personally? And how do I allow them their space after being super close with them? They used to be so chatty and fun, and now they're withdrawn, hanging out with friends, which I know is normal, but I take it personally. Also, I'm looking for advice about how to get them to do their chores, good luck, without asking 100 times. Thanks for any help. Sure. So, first of all, from one boy mom to another, I totally get you. It is really hard when our sons start distancing from us, especially when it's your baby who used to be super close. And so our knee-jerk reaction, of course, is to take it personally. How can we not? What's going on? Why don't they want to be with me anymore? It hurts. But to all you moms out there, listen up. Our children are supposed to distance from us. This is healthy development. One of the main tasks of motherhood is actually learning to constantly let go. So from the very second your child is born, the cord's clamped and they need us less. And our children become more and more autonomous until they're fully capable of living on their own without us, which is good. That's the plan. But just a little encouragement. They will always need you, just differently. And if that's one thing that maybe a new mom can grasp onto and hold, a concept that took me a while to really understand that, it's just really an important one. They will always need you, just differently. So recognize that your boys aren't pushing away from you. They're pushing their way into the world, and you're doing a great job. And they're going to need you desperately in the coming teen years, even though they're convinced that they don't. Imagine yourself as the lighthouse. You're the lighthouse that anchors them and always gives them a point of reference as they try out this new dependence in this world. And don't worry, they're going to circle back. So you got to give them their space. You have to let them be curious and interested and sullen and irritable, but you don't push them to respond in any kind of certain way. A great thing is to set up regular date nights individually with each child. And this can be a total game changer, especially when you have multiple kids. And date nights, they're for just enjoying, or date days, they're just for enjoying each other's company, connecting, and doing something that your son enjoys. Don't talk about serious issues. Don't talk about anything he needs to do unless he randomly brings it up, and I would really just try to table it. Okay, so getting them to do their chores without asking 100 times. Well, the best way to do it is to only ask once. So you ask once and not more, and immediately consequence. So you need to have a family meeting, and you need to make sure that everyone's on the same page regarding the expectations with the chores, and then set immediate consequences for when the chores are not completed in the specified time frame. Don't remind him. Don't remind them. If the time period passes and the chores aren't done, then you simply quietly dole out the consequence with no exception and no further discussion. Believe me, they're going to get the point, and they're going to eventually start getting their chores done. But if they know that they can wait 99 times for you to say the same thing before you get serious and mad, then believe me, they'll wait you out. They can do that. Raising preteens and teens is tough. It's just the reality of it. So you have to focus on the longevity of your relationship. Don't get caught up in what's going on presently, because this is just a season. Your relationship with your kid is for life. So just keep that concept clear. And you've got this. If you're struggling at all with this, reach out. I can help. So thanks for tuning in to the Dr. Zoe Show. New shows go up on Tuesdays. Subscribe so you don't miss a show. And if you're interested in coaching or therapy, or you just want to get a little more help, go to my website at drzoeshaw.com. Or you can connect with me on any of my social medias at the handle Dr. Zoe Shaw, and join my free newsletter by texting the word join to 38470. And I look forward to speaking with you wonderful ladies on social media throughout the week. Have a super week.
You've been listening to The Dr. Zoe Show, redefining your superwoman, with your host, Dr. Zoe Shaw. Don't forget to sign up for her monthly newsletters to get encouragement, tips, and skills for keeping your mind in the superwoman game. Connect with her now at www.drzoeshaw.com. Tell your friends and subscribe to her podcast on iTunes. Join us next time for another edition of The Dr. Zoe Show.